Hey, it's Dr. Beth with Psych Downloads. Today I want to talk a bit about self-soothing strategies. So if you've watched the series on emotion regulation, you know that there are two paths that we can take to help ourselves to feel better. One is turning towards other people, and one is turning towards ourselves. So today I want to talk about one of the 5 self-soothing strategies, and these are more active and productive strategies. So these are things that you can turn to if you're having a hard time or you're not feeling good, or something is going a little bit funky in your life or you have some stress, but these are things that you can do to help yourself to feel better. So these are, interests, hobbies, creative projects. These are productive things that you can do with your time to help you to feel better. Do you have those things? Do you have access to productive self-soothing strategies readily available at your home? What are the things that you do to help yourself stay engaged? Is it baking? Is it gardening? Is it woodworking? What is it that you do that's productive, that helps you to get your mind off of things that you can get really invested in? Some of the things that can be really helpful in this category are things where you're actually using your hands. When we're able to use our hands, sometimes we can get really mindful. We're really present, focused with what we're doing because there's a tactile element. It allows us to stay really focused on what it is that we're doing. So these are also really helpful strategies for people who tend to ruminate or get caught up in their head or tend to have self-defeating or self-critical thoughts. Because if you're able to get out of your head by doing something tactile, by doing something with your hands, this could be a great way to help soothe yourself. So instead of worrying about something that you might not be able to control, you might be able to say, bake some bread or make dinner. You might be able to create some jewelry. You might be able to make a bench. These are also great strategies for people to use who are interested and curious about learning new things. So whether this is, this could be taking a class online that's available to you. This might be donating your time to, volunteerism or through activist causes. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about how we can volunteer and donate our time, being around other people. But this is also about how you offer your time, whether it's, offering business or accounting guidance, whether it's being a leader and creating systematized structures that allow a charitable organization or a social cause to thrive more. But these are ways that you can really soothe yourself as well. These are both productive strategies and also sometimes helpful strategies that might actually amount to something at the end, whether it's a piece of art or something that you've made to eat for dinner. What I really want to also highlight about these strategies is that there's a lot of people who tend to go to productive strategies too much. They tend to find that unless they're doing something active and productive, they're wasting time or they're being inefficient. And I really encourage you to watch my video on more passive rest and downtime activities because that's a really great complement to productive and active activities. Sometimes what I see in my practice is that people who kind of feel overwhelmed pretty easily, maybe are high energy or run anxious, maybe have panic attacks, or just have a hard time with work-life balance, often go to productive self-soothing strategies nearly exclusively. They're always trying to find a way to be more productive and more engaged with something all the time. But as I've said in other videos, we want to make sure that our time, when we're thinking about ways we self-soothe, are spaced out and spread out amongst the 5 different ways we can self-soothe. We don't want to get stuck in just one type of self-soothing strategy. Productive and more active strategies are also really, really helpful ways to self-soothe, particularly for people that may find that they're low energy or have a hard time motivating for things. If you can connect with things that you're passionate about or things that you like, these might be ways to kind of help up your energy, because you might find that you have some motivation to attend to these self-soothing strategies. So maybe this is art, maybe this is writing, maybe this is gardening, maybe this is soldering electrical circuits. But whatever it is that you do, I invite you to think about how you might be able to use some productive and active strategies to help soothe yourself. And I just wanted to add a couple pieces that I think are pretty important to this. If you are somebody that tends to go to self-soothing productive strategies, like some of these more active strategies that I've been talking about in this video, I invite you to consider whether or not you are just doing this for yourself, just for your well-being. It's just for you to enjoy. Or is it hard for you to actually participate in more productive and active strategies without getting external validation from somebody else? So are you creating art, or are you writing something, or are you making something so that you can get accolades and then you could get external validation from someone else? Because if you are, I'm not saying that it's bad not to get praise for the things that you create, but I want to just make sure that you're doing it to self-soothe, that you're doing it for yourself, and that you're not confusing it with the need to get external validation or praise from someone else. Because when we think about self-soothing strategies, we really want to focus on how we can take care of ourselves and really not need the praise or the validation from other people to feel good about it, because then that kind of takes away from being able to self-soothe and self-regulate. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you to think about ways that you can self-regulate using productive and active strategies, and hopefully also consider whether or not you could be doing these too much. If you tend to be somebody who is pretty high energy and pretty active, you may want to look at more downtime, restful, and passive strategies. So something to consider, but I hope that you enjoy your time doing things that you love and you find that productive and active time really soothing for you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at Psych Downloads, and like Psych Downloads on Facebook. Thanks so much. I'm Dr. Beth.